All right, today we're going to talk about a massive shift happening with AI in the business world. It's a change that isn't just about making work a little better or a little faster. No, this is about AI starting to eliminate work entirely. And this is completely rewriting the rules of how much it costs to get things done, but most companies are still playing by an old playbook. And this quote right here, it pretty much says it all. The game has totally changed. It's no longer about small, incremental improvements. We're talking about a brand new class of AI that just removes whole chunks of tasks from a company's to-do list. This one simple idea is what's causing a huge repricing in the market, and we're going to break down exactly how that's happening. So, our story actually begins somewhere you might not expect. Not in a tech lab, but on the stock market, where a sudden, really confusing event back in early 2026 sent this crystal clear signal that the rules of the game had fundamentally changed. What's wild is that this drop wasn't because of bad products or because they missed their earnings. I mean, these were healthy, successful companies. What actually happened was a sudden realization that hit investors all at once. The entire value of their business model was being reevaluated, and the market figured it out way before most managers even knew what was happening. I mean, what could possibly cause such a rapid and massive rethink of an entire industry?
Well, the answer comes down to a whole new way of thinking about what AI is actually for.
And that brings us to the new AI equation. Because this, right here, is the moment where everything pivoted. You see, in March of 2026, a bunch of the big AI companies released these incredibly powerful new models. And almost overnight, raw AI intelligence became a commodity. It was super powerful, it was cheap, and basically anyone could get their hands on it. So the focus just instantly shifted from asking, how smart is this AI, to a much more practical and honestly disruptive question. This is the new dividing line. This single question is the absolute key to understanding the market crash, the future of software, and how you should be thinking about AI. Is a tool just helping someone do a task better, or is it getting rid of the need for that task altogether? And this new question led to this phenomenon called seat compression. Think about it. For decades, the software business model was simple: one employee, one software license. But what happens when one AI can do the work of 5 marketers, or maybe 10 customer support agents? Well, suddenly a company doesn't need 10 licenses anymore. It just needs one. And that realization sent absolute shockwaves through the entire software economy. So the crucial thing to get here is that this wasn't some temporary dip. This is a permanent structural change. The very concept of where software creates its value is being re-engineered right from the ground up. Okay. So to really get a handle on this new world, you have to understand that the AI market has basically split in two. There's a huge difference between two types of tools, and they are assistants and operators. So what really separates them? Well, their core purpose is completely different. One is all about making an individual person more efficient, while the other is focused on cutting down costs for the whole organization. And confusing one for the other is a really big mistake. As you can see here, the difference is pretty stark. On the left, you've got assistant tools. They help you think. They're like a partner that helps you work faster, but you have to be there telling them what to do. Their goal is to boost your productivity as an individual. Now, operator tools on the right, they're built to execute. You give them a goal and some rules, and the AI just runs the whole workflow. Its main benefit? Reducing the organization's cost by literally removing human work from a process. So one makes you better at your job. The other one does the job. And this isn't just some theory, right? This shift is happening as we speak in some very real ways. Let's look at a couple of clear examples. So first up, let's talk about marketing operations. This area is famous for being a mess of complex, disconnected tech, where companies have to patch together dozens of different tools that barely talk to each other. Well, that is changing, and it is changing fast. The old way, it involved a separate tool for your sales funnels, another one for your email marketing, a third for automation, and on and on. Now, a single integrated operator platform can just handle all of it. And the key difference here is that these new platforms don't just help you manage your marketing. They run it for you. They get rid of all that complexity and replace a dozen different subscriptions with just one. And for our second example, let's look at that black hole of administrative work that happens after most meetings. That whole layer of manual work is now being turned into an automated data pipeline. It's all about turning unstructured conversations into structured, useful data without a person having to lift a finger. You know how it used to be? Someone had to sit there and type up the notes, write the summaries, and then manually enter all the decisions into a project management tool. Now, operator tools just record the meeting, transcribe it, and automatically pull out the key decisions and action items, and then assign them to the right people. All that human time spent on busy work, it's just gone. It's been completely removed from the cost equation. So the big question is, how do you adapt to all this? Well, that brings us to our last section, a simple 3-question playbook for how to buy and use AI tools in this new era. Okay, before you invest a single dollar in any new AI, you have to ask these 3 questions. First, what work does this tool eliminate, not just improve? Elimination is what permanently takes a cost off your books. Second, does this reduce the number of tools you're using? The goal here should be to simplify, to consolidate into fewer, more powerful systems, not add more complexity. And third, can this thing run with minimal supervision? Because if it needs a person constantly guiding it, it's just an assistant, and you should measure its value that way. And this is a really important point about using them. Look, these powerful operator tools can be risky. If they make a mistake, it can scale up fast. But the answer isn't to just avoid them. It's to onboard them carefully, just like you would a new employee. Give them a really clear job description, set firm boundaries, and have a process in place to review their work. So, all of this leads us to a brand new bottom line. The old questions about which AI is smarter or which one has the most features, they're kind of becoming irrelevant because having a base level of intelligence is just the price of entry now. This is the essential question for 2026 and beyond. This is the new lens you have to use for every single AI investment. The tools that are going to win in the future will be the ones that answer this question the best, not by being slightly better assistants, but by becoming true operators that fundamentally change how work itself gets done.